Welcome to another episode of FTK Over the Air. It's a podcast we run here at Xtero that covers various forensic topics from people around the community. We have been on a little bit of a break during conference season as I travel and am out and about, and so we've slowed down a little bit. However, I have another episode for you today, and this episode's a little bit different as it's video only. Our guests today are going to give us some awesome information on doorbell video forensics. So what type of information you can get off of there, how to get that information, some best practices, and things like that. So it's a really cool episode, so make sure you tune in, but you will have to watch it on video. This will not be released audio only, as it would not make that much sense given they'd be pointing at stuff and you wouldn't be able to see it. So yeah. So let me introduce our guests today. So we have two actually, and they'll switch off about halfway through. So we have Bradley Barkhurst, and he is the Forensic Specialist Supervisor at the Ohio Division of State Fire Marshal's Forensic Laboratory since 2016. And prior to that, he worked at the Ohio Attorney General's Office as a Forensic Video Analyst for 10 years. So some pretty good experience there. He's a Law Enforcement and Emergency Services Video Association Certified Forensic Video Analyst. He also has a certification in forensic video with the International Association of Identification. He has a bachelor's degree of fine art in electronic media from the University of Cincinnati. And also Brad has a master's of computer science degree in forensic computer and cybercrime investigation from the University College of Dublin, Ireland. He currently serves as secretary on the HTCIA Ohio chapter board, which is where I met him. Great get together there, a lot of educational material, super cool. So that's our first guest, Brad. Solid. So also, we are also joined by Max Bothe, who attended the University of Colorado, Denver, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in recording arts. He went on to get a master's degree in recording arts as well, with an emphasis in digital media forensics through the National Center for Media Forensics, or NCMF. He graduated in 2020 and has started as a forensic specialist at the Ohio State Fire Marshal's Forensic Laboratory in 2021. And his current qualifications also include LEVA training through level 3, LEVA forensic audio fundamentals, and he's certified through LEVA as a forensic video technician. So we have some really knowledgeable guests today that are going to walk us through some of the things that they found when analyzing video from doorbell cams, which are becoming more and more prevalent, as we know. Lynn is not joining us on this one. She was out of office when we did our recordings, so it'll just be me, Brad, and Max on this one. So hope you enjoy, hope you learn something. I think there's a lot of good information here. Thanks for tuning in. Let's jump over and start with Brad and Max. Okay, we're back and we're with Brad and Max, and we are excited for the presentation they're going to give us today. We're going to be talking about cameras, forensic approach to doorbell cameras specifically, which a lot of us have. So Brad, welcome, and we'll welcome Max when he jumps on here a little bit later. But Brad, how you doing?
Great. Thank you, Justin. I want to thank you and Xtero for kindly allowing us to present our presentation on doorbell cameras.
Welcome. Take it away.
All right. So, of course, we had to make a knock-knock joke out of it. So we titled the presentation, Knock Knock, You're on Camera, a forensic approach to doorbell cameras. My name is Brad Barkhurst. I'm the Forensic Specialist Supervisor at the State of Ohio Fire Marshal's Office. And I'm also with my co-worker, Max Bothe, who will be presenting in a little bit. So, a little about what we do at the Fire Marshals at the State of Ohio. We do forensic audio and video analysis, DVR, NVR retrieval and recovery from damaged and undamaged recorders. We create video narrative reports and timelines. We are also into mobile devices and vehicle forensic analysis.
Very cool.
So doorbell cameras and cloud-based cameras are everywhere now. And just like there was no set standard of traditional DVRs and NVRs saving out video and such, the digital forensics community, I felt, and Max felt, needed some guidance on this. Fortunately, SWIG-DE, the Scientific Working Group on Digital Evidence, has developed a document called SWIG-DE Best Practices for Digital and Multimedia Evidence Video Acquisition from Cloud Storage. So we do have some guidelines here. The most latest version that was released was in 2018, and at the time of this presentation, it's currently on version 1.0, and it can be downloaded at swigde.org. So the way SWIG-DE categorizes doorbell cameras, it falls into the category of web-enabled devices. So types of cloud storage, web-enabled devices in a home or business setting that stream, encode video directly to internet-hosted cloud storage. For example, Nest cameras, Arlo's, Nanocams, has live stream, playback, and export functions, and usually controlled by a device in the physical location or through the user's phone or computer. But no data is stored on the device itself, although it can be sometimes. And just like any digital device, you'll need a consent or a search warrant to acquire the video. But unlike traditional DVRs and network video recorders, you may need to get a letter of preservation, just like data from a cell phone app. So back in the days of saving out video from hardware recorders like digital video recorders and network video recorders, you go in, you find your video, you save it out. Sometimes, like, this is data that's stored on an app. You may have to get a letter of preservation, just like cell phone apps. So the SWIG-DE document does provide a sample preservation letter to give you guidance on how to make a preservation request. And just like any other app data preservation, read for each company, there'll be certain policies and conditions, and sometimes they will notify the users in the privacy and terms. So Google Nest, for example, will email the user if a government agency requests the info.
That's good information to have if you're going to hit that house later or something like that.
Right. So it's something to be aware of if your agency is going to do something like that. Also, be aware in cases of emergency situations, such as a kidnapping, cloud companies can share camera footage without a warrant. So it really depends on what you're doing and what needs to be done and what the policies and guidelines are with that third-party cloud provider. So right now, there's a little specific support within the digital forensic software companies out there when it comes to doorbell cameras and apps and cloud-based recorders. However, there are some things coming down the line that will give better export potentially for these cloud-based video systems. But for right now, we really have to go on scene, or first responders may have to go on scene and save video out from these cloud-based systems. So what about these unsupported makes and models that aren't supported by software yet? How do you save out video in a non-emergency? How do you save out video with consent? Or what if you have consent but only have access to the user's cloud account and it's on a PC? How do you even know how to save out the video? Well, you buy some doorbell cameras and you test them out. And that's exactly what we did, because we were getting into doorbell cameras, getting requests to save video out from doorbell camera cloud systems. And we really felt that it was necessary to purchase some to get some sort of workflow and get an idea how they work. So heads up, these doorbell cams, when accessing via computer, use two-factor authentication, typically via text message or a user's email. So just to be aware of that. And for this specific testing that we did it on Android phones. So just like the traditional digital video recorders and network video recorders, doorbell cam graphic user interfaces have a lot of the same features. You just have to know where to find them. So obviously, these systems are going to have an ability to play back video, record video, save video out. So it's really just a matter of getting into these GUIs and seeing how they work. So let's look at a Ring doorbell cam. So on a computer, you go to ring.com and log into the doorbell account. And then there's a Ring export download demo from a PC via ring.com. So once we've logged into the portal, this is how you save out the video. And let me play this back and kind of walk you through. So once in the dashboard and logged in, you can scroll down and you'll see cameras. For this case, we have one camera. Click on the settings there. You can see that it has motion detection enabled. Go back and trying to figure out how to download it. So I clicked on the play button. It's going to bring in the live view. I can hear some audio there, so I know it records audio. Then I can go to the history and actually see video clips. So you can select a camera that you want to download from. You have a manage. So I see an option to share and go to shared videos. You can see a live view. So from live view, I see that little download video icon. So that is how you download that specific video. So if I go to event history, I can scroll up and down the history of motion detection video, live video that was previously recorded. For example, when somebody rings on the doorbell. Now, what I was trying to do here is see if I could select multiple clips to download at the same time. The Ring portal does not allow me to do that. So I have to download the video one at a time. You can preview it and then download it. And this is downloading onto my PC. All right, so gives you an idea of basically you have to go through and explore the GUI a little bit to find out where the download button is at and where your video clips are at. So let's see what a downloaded video looks like. So this is from the PC. One thing as I play it, the time date stamps in the lower right-hand corner, and it's very difficult to see unless you have it at 100% resolution there. There you can see some cars driving by. That was triggered by the motion detection, and there's audio. So with a Ring camera, how do you do it via the phone? So the way you do it is you log into the Ring login portal via the Ring app. You can see it. It's the blue circle there. And once logged in, or once you're in, the history button brings up the video history. You can go to the event history. And then there's your video. It includes all all the types of video recorded, motion detection, live view. And you have to scroll down and find the video that you're looking for. Now, if you double click on a thumbnail, the video will pop up and the video will start playing. Now, if you see the 3 dots on the lower right corner, you click on that, and it gives you the option to share, download, bookmark, and delete video. So that's where you would download it or share it. And I selected download, and this is in my download manager. So the Ring video has been downloaded via my Android phone. So to access the videos, go to Google Photos. The videos are placed in the Google Photos download directory. It's organized by date. Something else that I noticed in the Ring settings, in the Ring app, you can actually set the motion detection regions of interest. So you can, what was going on is every time a vehicle was driving by, it was sending me messages. And I was just getting messages, alerts all throughout the day, every time a vehicle drove by. And so I wanted to kind of bring that down. So instead of having the whole area of frame be triggered with motion detection, I basically set it to not capture the street and rather the front yard and the driveway. So something to be aware of with Ring. You can also adjust the motion sensitivity, which is nice as well. All right, so that is Ring. Let's move on to Arlo. Is there any questions about Ring before we move on?
No, that was great. This is also great information for people who want to report things to officials as well, because they might say, hey, I have this video, I want to give you, consent. And it's good training for them as well if they want to turn that over. That's great. Good information.
Yeah, and one of the issues that we found is that we would get some video on these Ring cameras and some doorbell cameras, and basically it wouldn't pick up the person until like a second or two later, and you'd see them turning around from the doorbell cam. And so what I would suggest, and this is with any video recorder, is test your system out. Teach yourself how to download video in case a first responder comes and needs assistance saving out video. Also be aware of the sensitivity issues. So what I suggest to everyone is to play around with your system and figure out what works best for you and for your setting and where you want your motion detection to be at. So that's what I recommend on that.
Very cool.
Oh, once I got the times between recordings. So basically when a recording stops and when a recording kicks back on, perhaps from like a motion detection situation, that can be adjusted as well. So with Ring, yep. All right, so let's move on to Arlo here. So how do you download Arlo video via computer? So again, you log into your account. You can scroll down. The videos are listed by date. You can click on the thumbnail. That plays back the video. You can right click, and then there's download. And that downloads your video. Now, notice one thing right here. There's a calendar. I don't know how easily you can see it, but there's a calendar that shows dates that have some video recorded on. So that's nice that you can just have that date calendar. You can go month by month, select that date, and bring up the recordings for that time, for that date. So the video has been recorded, downloaded, and I'm just reviewing the recording. And that's another important step too. So if you're a first responder, make sure you review that video, that saved out video, before you leave the scene or before you log out of that account. So again, I was trying to see if I could download multiple video clips with Arlo, and that would not work. You can share the video clips. You can send like an email link to somebody, copy that link and send it.
I actually had to help a friend get some Arlo video off one time. And yeah, we tried to pull down multiple videos all at once, and nope, had to do it one at a time. One at a time.
Yeah, it can certainly be a tedious process and an annoying process if you have a long scope of time that you need to save out. All right. So let's see what a downloaded video from Arlo looks like. And again, this is download from the computer. Now we have an issue here. There's no date timestamp on that computer downloaded video. That could be an issue, especially for a forensic video analyst like me or Max, where we're trying to build a timeline, especially from multiple cameras. But Max has found a solution to that, which he'll talk about here in a little bit. Okay, so now let's try downloading some Arlo video via the phone. So click on the Arlo Secure app on the phone, and this is on Android. That's what the icon looks like. And the Arlo dashboard pops up. You can see the dashboard. And then under the feed, the video clips are visible. So it has the most recent recording at the top. Then you can bookmark, share, donate, download, or delete. I went to do download. And then if you go to Google Photos, videos are placed in the Google Photos download directory. And that's where you find those downloaded videos. So, and I apologize that this is for Arlo. So any questions about Arlo video?
No, that looked great. Just one, I guess, in general, what is the kind of download quality of the videos you're getting from maybe Arlo, Ring, and Nest, since we're going to jump into it? But
yeah, so we're going to do get into some of that information, trying to find the best quality to download, because some methods could have better quality versus others. The other thing is, it also depends on the make and model of the recorder. Just like any camera, any recorder, there's different quality settings potentially that you might run into. So that's something also to be aware of if you're an owner of one of these systems. We always suggest record the best quality that you can, and do some experimenting to see what has the best qualities for your system. Also, the individual makes and models of the camera should have spec sheets that you should be able to look up, so that information is available. So, but we'll get into the specifics for these make and models of the doorbell cameras that we tested. So moving on to Google Nest, you log in to your Nest. Go to home.nest.com and enter your Gmail account username and password. Next, you will be sent to, you go into nest.com. Again, this is download it through your computer. And in there, the Nest video will then be in your computer downloads through the Nest.com website. So let's take a look at the downloaded video. Again, no visible date timestamp is on this video. If we go back up, it is visible through the default name. So some of these you'll see untitled, but there'll be like a name, like the date, and then the timestamp in the title, but no date timestamp on the video. And let me just play this so you can see what it looks like. Again, I'm sorry, it's not on the my outside wall, but you can get an idea of what it looks like in pretty good frame rate there. All right. So what about the Nest Doorbell phone download? Again, this is on Androids. So click on the Nest app icon on the user's phone. You'll click on the box where it shows the live feed, or in my case, the camera's offline. But once you click on there, on the live feed, it'll have there's a 30-day icon that brings up recordings from the past 30 days. It may be less than 30 days depending on your subscription plan. So that is also something to be aware of how long your doorbell camera or cloud camera will retain that information. And of course, they want you to purchase that subscription plan to have a longer retainment of your video. So again, it's not just make and model, but your subscription plan you should be aware of as well. But one thing that I say in all video retrieval is try to save that video out as fast as possible, because unless you look at these system specs in the subscription detail, you can lose potential video. And we've certainly seen that happen where first responders, they wait a day or two to go back to the location and the recording's already been gone. So the rule of thumb is save out sooner than later. Okay, so with Nest doorbells, you search by date and time. And you can select your date and time. And if video events have been recorded, it will populate if recorded. Again, with the most recent recording up top there. So select the clip you want to download, and then select the new clip icon. So to access the downloaded video, you go to Google Photos. And then in the Google Photos library, Google creates a Nest directory. So this is where the downloaded video is located, instead of the download directory that you saw in some of the other cameras earlier. Also, what was interesting I found with Nest is it will take a snapshot of a person if it detects motion and send you a snapshot of that person's face. All right. So any questions on the Nest doorbell?
I use the Nest system. That's what I've got all over. So I'm actually pretty familiar with that one.
Okay, good. All right. So the least expensive doorbell on the list that we purchased is the Amazon Blink. We got that around for $38. It was on sale. So Amazon Blink doorbell cam, no computer login option on the version or our model that we purchased. So this is all via the phone on an Android phone. So you go to the Blink app icon. That'll bring up the interface, and the video clips populate by going to the clips icon. And by selecting a clip, a video will come up. And then you have the option to delete, share, or download the video clip. And again, it's one clip at a time. So once it's been downloaded, it will be in the Google Photos library in the download directory. So as I said earlier, remember to review that downloaded video before logging out the computer account, phone account, or leaving the scene. That way you make sure you have what you need to have, and you don't have to return to somebody and ask to download it again. So any questions about Amazon, Arlo?
No, that looks great. And yeah, I think it's super important to validate your stuff before you leave because, man, you mentioned it earlier with the time, if that person lets it sit or they clean up their account or something, then you may not have anything to go back to. So excellent tip.
Yeah. And that's why it might be very important to have that letter of preservation. And again, just like a traditional video, saving out video from a traditional digital video recorder or network video recorder, try to get as much information about that make and model ahead of time in user accounts and passwords. Anything, the more information that you have beforehand will make it a much more pleasant experience if you have to arrive on scene and save it out.
Absolutely.
It's less stressful too.
Absolutely.
All right. With that said, I'm going to hand the mic over to Max, and he's going to get more into the specs of these doorbell cams.
Great.
So thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep. Welcome.
All right. Sorry, we had someone try to come in here.
No worries.
We're going to get into the specs now of the doorbell cams that we were looking at. So we'll start with the Ring here. You'll see it's, I just did like the basics kind of about the type of video it saves out. So we got H.264 encoded video at 24 FPS. It's a variable FPS, but around 24. The pixel dimension is 1536 by 1536, so that 1:1 ratio. And you'll see it in a lot of these that you can adjust that there's a good, better, best quality. It does have audio. The Rings have audio at AAC encoded single mono audio track at a 16 kilohertz sample rate. And as far as quality, like that question before about getting the best quality, we downloaded it from the computer and then to the phone and transferred it over. And the video downloaded to the phone and the video downloaded from the website have the same stream hashes for video and audio. So no matter where you're getting it from, it's the same thing as far as downloading it.
Cool.
The videos have the timestamps embedded in the video for the Rings. And then when saving a video with the phone app, the default name is the date and time you saved the recording and not the date and time of the actual recording, which can be important to know if you're wondering why those two things aren't matching up when you're looking at them. When downloaded from the website, the default name is the actual date and time of the recording and that year, month, day, _time format. And I'll show you that later. There's no encoded date and time in the metadata or the hex. So if you're doing your media info, you don't see that. It's because it's not in there. Moving on to Nest, it's also H.264 encoded video at 15 FPS variable. That's 1152 by 864 pixel dimension, so a little bit less than the Ring. And again, the video downloaded from the phone and the video downloaded from the website have the same stream hashes, so no matter where you get it from, it's the same thing. And there's no timestamp embedded in the video, but instead it does save it as a subtitle clip that must be turned on to view. So if you have like your VLC player and you go to that subtitle track and turn it on, you'll then be able to see a timestamp. Who knows why they did that, but it is there, which is good. When saving a video from either the app or downloaded from the website, the default clip name is the date and time of the recording, and a month, day, year at whatever time it was. Nest does ask you to put a name for the clip when saving it out. This will be the name if left untitled. So it will prompt you. It will prompt the user. If you just hit enter, it'll put in that default name. There's a timestamp in the metadata, but it is the downloaded date and time, and UTC-0 is not the encoded or like the actual video date and time. So luckily you have it there in the subtitle and in the name as long as they don't change it. For blinks, again, it's H.264 encoded, 24 FPS. There's a example of a better or standard. There's a 1920 by 1080 Full HD, and then 1280 by 720 pixel dimensions that you can choose from. It's got an AAC encoded mono audio track at 60 kilohertz set rate. And again, the video download from the phone and video download from the website have the same stream hash, so you're getting the same thing no matter where you get it from. There's no date and time in the video, and which is unfortunate, but downloading it from the app names the video the date and time the video was recorded. So year-month-day _hour_minutes_seconds. Again, we'll show you that here in a second. If you share it with that sharing button and text it or email it, the name is just a bunch of characters, and I could not figure out for the life of me what it meant. It's just a bunch of numbers. I tried to put it in some time converters or make sense of it, and I could not. So I apologize, but there's no encoded date and time in the metadata or in the hex. So if someone shares it or emails it to you, you're gonna have to figure out or make sure that it is that time and date that they said it was. And last but not least here, although it was pretty interesting as far as time goes, we'll get into that. It's again H.264 encoded with 24 FPS variable. There's a couple different pixel dimension options there. Ours was a 1536 by 1536. AAC encoded mono audio track at 16 kilohertz. And again, video downloaded from the phone and from the website have the same stream hash. There's no date and time in the video. If you email a link to a video, they'll have a date, but there's no time, and it cannot, and that video that you share with them can't be downloaded. So if you email them a link, they can watch it, they can see that there's, the day it was downloaded or the day it was recorded, but they can't actually download it themselves. When downloading the video from the Arlo website, the default name is the recorded date and time and epoch time UTC-0. So that is one way you can kind of figure out when that was recorded as long as you get it from the website. If you download it from the phone, the default file name is the camera name and the camera serial number with no time whatsoever in the name or in the video. But there's a way you can figure it out. There is encoded date and times in the metadata for Arlo. When downloading the video through the phone application, you can change the created date and time with, if you go into the details of that file, and you can do this with any other file, I suppose, but you can hit that details and then change that date. So if someone did that not knowing what they were doing, it could throw you off, but there's other ways you can check it. I'll show that here. So that you see that encoded date and time highlighted right there. That is the day and time that it was recorded in UTC-0. So that was actually recorded at 7:30 in the morning on the East Coast. But you can see there, I changed it on this one. So I made a different file. I just copied that file and changed that details in my phone. So now it's showing up as it's saying it's recorded on, March 22nd, 2022 at 22:30 or 22:30. So if that happens, and or for whatever reason you think that is the case, you'll see here that encoded date and time of when I changed it. But if you go down to the video and media info, you can see that video encoded date and time is actually the correct time, 4/20/2023 at 11:31 UTC-0. And lastly, inside that the phone file, you will see if you go to the very bottom of the hex, since there's no name in that, no date and time in that default name that they give you for the phone, you can check the very bottom of the hex in the phone. You see that 168.199.02.63.673. That is actually the file name as if you were to download it from the website, which is the epoch time in UTC-0. So that is one way to check that.
Do you have an example or piece about the quality? Okay, yeah.
Do you have any questions before I switch screens here and show you a couple of the videos and names and stuff?
Just one. That's really cool information, and I think super important. The highlights you put on the timestamp dates between, hey, this is the timestamp you downloaded it versus the actual. Is there any indication in the data that it's UTC, or you just found that and discovered that via your training or trials and testing?
That was through testing.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Makes sense. Very good to know. Thanks.
Okay. Here is our contact information if you would like to email us any questions, or here's our phone number. You can it'll call the lab and you can ask for one of us. And if you have time, I can jump over to the video player and I can show you some of these examples.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. Let me use that. To share. Okay, can you see the player here, Axon?
Yes, I can see Axon.
Okay, so I'll just go down the chain here, starting with Arlo. You see that's the default file name at the top there if you download it from their website. That's that epoch time and UTC-0, and then there's that example file name as if you were to download it from your phone. And that's just the whatever name you give your camera underscore your camera serial number. And you can see here the file hashes from the downloaded from the website and downloaded from your video on your phone are the same. Blink. So here's the video for Blink. And you'll see that's the default file name right there. And here, that's what I was talking about underneath there. That's the default file names. If you were to email it or text it, and that string of characters right there, I'm unclear how they produce that. But you will see that the file hashes are the same, so you are getting the same quality with the Blink if you're sending it, sharing it, or downloading it. Here's the Ring video. There's that default name. That is the date and time that you put it onto your phone or you put it onto your computer. But you see there's a timestamp in the bottom right-hand corner. And again, those hashes are the same. So here is an important thing to show. If someone were to download this to their phone and then they text you, we've seen this before where they'll text like a police officer or an investigator, here's my video. If they text you the downloaded video, it's going to destroy your quality. So here's, if you download to your phone and hit that share button, it's full quality. But here is if you download it and text that video, you can see.
Yeah, that's a bit of a difference.
that's a bit of a difference. So not only the video, that's 176 by 144 down from 1536 over 1536. So, and it's also destroying your audio quality. If I can show you that, I'll show you that right here real quick. On the left-hand side, you'll see that's the full audio stream. But if you text it, you're going from 48 kilohertz down to 8,000 hertz. So you're destroying that video if you were to get it in that way.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Next, here's that example for the default name again, May 18, 2023 at 7:25 a.m. As long as you just hit enter when it prompts you to change that title. And again, there's that subtitle stream. I'll show you that in VLC. But no matter where you get it from, again, all these hashes are the same. Oh, not that one, because that's not the same video. But these two hashes are the same. So I can show you here. Subtrack track 1. Now it has that timestamp on there. So if you want it does have it. It was just hidden for whatever reason they did that.
That's interesting. I wonder what the reason for that was. But
I don't know, but I'm glad we found it out, because at first we were about to say there was no timestamp, but I don't know. I actually put it into Axon and saw that subtitle stream, and I was like, that's weird. So I went to VLC and turned it on, and lo and behold, there's a timestamp.
Well, good find.
Yeah. That is it for what I have. Do you have any other questions for us?
No, how many of these devices are you working on? I know they're very popular in the consumer space. Are you getting a lot of them now in, like, all the time?
I don't know if about all the time. We still see more DVRs, but yeah, every once in a while we'll definitely see doorbell cameras, and we'll either go out and save it. We've had to do that before because the person didn't know how to operate their device, or we'll get it emailed or something like that.
For sure. This was a random thought I had while you were going through the different things, and maybe I missed it, but like my cam, I use Nest, and it can trigger on like sound or whatever. Can you tell what triggered the event, or is that just kind of a thing they tell the user type thing?
I don't know for these cameras. As far as I know, these were all motion triggered because that's what we had them set as.
Sure.
For the settings. I did not have any indication that anything was audio triggered.
Okay, cool. No worries. Awesome. No, this is good information. Super helpful. I especially found the timestamp thing because that's going to be the first question, is when something happened, and you better know the difference between those two timestamps so you're saying the right date. So absolutely.
Yeah, especially the downloaded date versus the actual time and date is obviously really important.
Absolutely. So take notes regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for jumping on and sharing this. Really good information and really cool. It's great research you guys have done.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
All right. No, thank you.